Okay, in this example we want to demonstrate how to multiply two matrices. Now the multiplication of matrices is very important in a lot of different applications, so it's very important to be able to do this very accurately. Now the thing to remember about the multiplication of matrices is that only certain sizes of matrices can be multiplied, and the order of multiplication is very important. Again, the very first thing to do is to always determine the size of the matrices that we have. So if you look at this one here, we have 2 rows and 3 columns, so we call this a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. In this next one we have 3 rows and 2 columns, so this would be a 3 by 2 matrix. Now the important thing to remember is that we must have the same number of columns here as we have rows here. Alright, and so consequently if we do that, alright, notice that the multiplication is usually row by column, so we do row 1 by column 1 to produce the very first position. So the first thing to always remember is make sure that this number here, the number of columns in the first matrix, is the same as the number of rows in the second matrix. Well, if it is, then we can do the multiplication. Now the resulting size of the matrix when we do that product is going to be the outside numbers, which will be a 2 by 2. Right, so let's put down a 2 by 2 matrix, and let's work through the entries. So the first entry here, alright, is going to come from this row by this column. So we multiply each corresponding entry and add them up. So we go 2 by 0 is 0. 2 by -1 is -2. And -1 by 0 is 0. So my result is -2. Okay? Right, if I want to do this position here, it's going to be the first row by the second column, so it's 2 by 2 is 4, plus 2 by 4 is 8, so 4 and 8 is 12, plus -1 by 2 is -2, so 12 plus -2 is 10. Okay. Alright, now the next position comes from row 2, excuse me, by column 1. So we get 3 by 0 is 0, 0 by -1 is 0, 1 by 0 is 0, so we simply get 0. Right, the next final entry, the second row, second column entry, comes from the second row by the second column, which is 3 by 2 is 6, plus 0 by 4 is 0, and 1 by 2 is 2, so I have 6 plus 2 is 8. Alright, and again remember, it's very important to determine the size of the matrices first, to determine whether you can actually do the product, and of course to determine what the final size of the matrix is after the product, so that you have the right number of entries. And that's how we do multiplication of matrices.